Hi everyone, my name is Tanya Gouveia and I'm going to be your professor for this semester for the Substance Abuse Certificate Program course, Community Counseling and Case Management. Um, so this is my very first strictly online course, and I'm not used to that and the way that my particular program functions. Um, it it doesn't work well with online, so I'm going to be doing a lot of these videos to more thoroughly give you instruction and education about the course, the program, the content, and just the clinical world in general. Okay. The other thing that's important for you to know is that we're going to be focusing a lot, not just on case management. We're going to be talking a lot about how you get to the point where you determine what types of services a client may need based on the clinical content that they're giving you. Normally, when we were in a classroom setting, this would be a very diverse conversation where we would talk about a particular client or a case study, and we would all discuss different things about them, what stands out, where concerns may be, what diagnosis may take place. So I really want to keep that same classroom integrity in the online format. So I'm going to be doing a lot of these videos. Hopefully it works out. Last semester it was like kind of a disaster, but I've gotten some skills and tech stuff on this. So hopefully I have it figured out and I have some people on backup to help me. So just to give you a little bit more about myself, I'm currently in my office. I work for AdCare Hospital in the outpatient clinic. That's not a clinic, it's an outpatient office. I'm actually here right now just trying to get stuff done because I have two babies at home that don't like to let me do stuff. And they kind of get in the way sometimes. So I have to find alternatives, like get to work 3 hours early just so I can get this stuff done. So I've been teaching at BCC for, I think this is my third year. Yeah, second, third, something. I don't know. I've lost track of time. I don't know. I remember being pregnant when I first started. My son's a year and a half, so I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I really enjoy what I do. I went to BCC myself in my first years of college, post high school. I went there for about 2 years. So it is near and dear to me. I think it's an absolutely great school. I did go to Bridgewater afterwards, and I got my undergrad in criminal justice. And then I tried for about a year to find a job after I graduated, was unsuccessful in doing that. So I decided to move to Boston and I pursued graduate school at Suffolk University. And I have a master's degree in crime and justice studies and also in public administration. At that time, when I was in graduate school, I started working in prisons. So I started working for Spectrum Health System, and I was working at MCI Framingham, which is the women's state facility. I was there for 2 years, and then I transferred to the ACI Medium Security Facility, which is in Rhode Island. I was there for about 2 years, 3 years, about a year under Spectrum, and then we lost the contract, and then Providence Center picked it up. So then I started work for the Providence Center, was still at medium security, ended up leaving there and still worked for the Providence Center, but went into a residential program, men's residential program, which was interesting because I was there when Obamacare kicked in and we were no longer relying on state-funded beds to give people 90 days worth of treatment. Now what was happening is we were kind of at the mercy of managed care organizations, MCOs, which is insurance companies, to basically tell us how much time a client could have in treatment. So it was a pretty significant transition for a lot of people. And while I was there, I did clinical work, but then I ended up being a utilization reviewer, which meant I would do intakes on clients that were coming in, and then I would advocate for them to the insurance company to keep them in treatment and stuff like that. So I was there for a little bit, and then in 2015 I came to AdCare Hospital in Dartmouth because it was just closer. I was sick of driving to Cranston. Rhode Island is a very interesting state to live and work in, so I was kind of all set with that. And I've been here ever since, and then I started working at BCC a couple of years ago, and I really enjoy what I do. And one of the things that I got out of my own kind of awareness is that I didn't have a whole lot of help and support figuring out my career path, figuring out what schools to go to. I really didn't have a lot of help navigating those waters. I'm first generation American. My parents are immigrants. They don't have more than 8th grade education between them. So college was a very foreign place for me. I, probably made a lot of mistakes of things I shouldn't have done. But, part of my journey here is to give you all the most realistic experiences or examples or education possible. Because one of the things I couldn't stand when I was in school was having to take classes and having to learn content that was not applicable to the real world or not applicable to the job that I was looking to get. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to discuss in here, a lot of the case studies that you're going to read, a lot of the examples, a lot of the videos you're going to see are very clear, real life examples of what you're going to see in this field. It's not going to be strictly substance abuse. I want to say that substance abuse treatment is honestly probably a third of what I do. The other third, I want to say, is a lot of mental health, even though I am not a mental health professional by expertise. I have my LADAC in Massachusetts, and I have an equal license in the state of Rhode Island. And, I think another part of that is a lot of, family stuff, cognitive stuff, and, referrals, helping people get access to the services that they need. At the facility that I work at currently, we do not have our own case manager. So as a clinician, I am also the case manager, and it sucks. I would love to have a designated case manager where I could say, hey, hook someone up with a PCP or get them this type of a service, but that's just not in the cards for us here. Our case manager is all the way up in Worcester, and all they do is insurance stuff, which isn't a bad thing. We appreciate that because that takes up a lot of time. But in terms of the true meaning and purpose of a case manager, we don't necessarily have that here, and a lot of facilities don't have that here. Or if people are working on their own private practice, you're doing a lot of that stuff on your own. So a lot of what we're going to be discussing is going to be taking a look at a lot of different pieces to that puzzle. So I really hope that this is helpful for you all. I really hope that this is a successful class for you. I'm always open to feedback. I'm always open to, correcting. I should tell you in advance right now, I'm a tad ADD, and I make human error. So if you see something on the syllabus that doesn't make sense, or if you read an assignment that maybe I had messed up a sentence or something was confusing, please let me know. I am a person of large human error, and we have to be open as not just individuals, but professionals, as students, as teachers. We have to be open to change, to criticism, to awareness of our errors. So please, if anything is off or whatever, please let me know. If any of you are having a tough time this semester, if you're struggling at all, please let me know. My goal is not to fail you. My goal is to help you succeed. And I know that many of us have very specific challenges going on in our lives that might make following through with the semester very challenging. So please let me know immediately. That way we can give you whatever interventions that you may need at that time, or I can give you whatever support you may need. Don't wait until the 11th hour, because there's only so much that I can do at that time. Especially to be fair to everyone else. So I hope you like this little introduction of myself, and I look forward to seeing or learning more about you all. I am going to create a designated office time. I need to just double check my schedule really quick, but I will send a message out to all of you and let you know where I will be available via Zoom to be able to communicate or talk with any of you about anything that's going on, or any of the questions about the assignments that I have posted. So let's get started.